Apple's new mobile payment system is under threat from criminals this morning. Banks reports rampant fraud linked to Apple Pay. That's a 5-month-old service used by millions of Americans to make purchases. Now, the problem could be more common than traditional credit card scams. Nicholas Thompson is a digital expert with the New Yorker magazine and a CBS News contributor. Good morning to you, Nick.
Good morning, Gail.
So how does this happen to Apple, and are you surprised that it's happened to Apple?
I am surprised that it happened to Apple. So Apple came out a few months ago and they made their announcement of Apple Pay and all the great security features and all the ways it would protect you. And it seemed really good. It seemed maybe it was vulnerable for a hack, maybe it was vulnerable this way. And then it turns out 5 months in that there's a soft underbelly, that there's a vulnerability that nobody really thought about, and that is identity fraud. If somebody has stolen your credit card and stolen other parts of your identity, it's very easy for them to get a new iPhone and set up Apple Pay within it and then go and buy all sorts of stuff with your credit card.
And this was discovered by a blogger.
This was discovered by a blogger.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about that is once you've stolen the information and you go into a store and you scan it, there's not like your name on it. Doesn't show your name. I mean, that's how it happens, right? That's the hole in the system.
Well, there are a bunch of holes in the system, but that's a really interesting one because Apple set up that mechanism as a way to protect you so that the person at the checkout counter couldn't steal your name and number. But it turns out that it eliminates one little possible protection against it. Now, it's important to remember that if you have an Apple phone, you've set up Apple Pay, you're not at risk. The people who are at risk are the merchants and the banks who have probably rushed a little too quickly into this.
And one of the merchants that's been hit hardest is
Apple. Because, of course,
Yeah.
Apple has Apple Pay set up, and Apple has expensive, easy-to-carry gadgets. So what is a crook going to do? They're going to set up a phone with phony credit card credentials and go into an Apple store and buy lots of expensive stuff.
So what is Apple going to do to fix this?
Well, there are a couple of places that need to fix it. So Apple probably needs to fix its infrastructure. The people who really need to fix stuff are the banks. They moved way too quickly on this. They need to slow down. And when somebody tries to get authorized for a new credit card inside of an Apple Pay account, they need to ask for more information. And then the merchants also need to be more careful. So we need to slow down a little bit and think about this.
And the Apple Watch coming out in 5 months. This can't be good.
No, it's coming out very soon, right? This is not good at all, right? So one of the selling points of Apple Watch is that, hey, you can use Apple Pay with it. Just swing your wrist at the checkout. And that's going to make people buy more watches, but now there's this cloud over Apple Pay. On the other hand, right before the announcement, we had the Jennifer Lawrence hacks, and that didn't seem to slow Apple down at all. So Apple will probably be able to soldier on.
They'll be okay.
Nicholas Thompson, thank you so much.